Hello, we are going to solve this question. The question says, find the general solution of sine x minus 15 equal to cos 20 plus x. This is a question that is first assessed in grade 11. So the question is, you as a learner for grade 11 and 12, what would you do? Okay, so that's what you have to first ask yourself. So, the aim of a learner is to know which method to apply where. Now, this question has sine here, and here there is cosine. Okay, so the errors most of the learners do is this one. Most learners rush to do this. They want to divide both of the sides by cos. But that is an error. It's a misconception. Okay? Because the moment you divide both sides by cos, when the angles are different, you will never but turn. Well, this one will become 1, but this one, it will become into nothing. You see, it is meaningless. The left-hand side will be meaningless because the angles are different. This is a different angle from this one. It's different from this angle. So we can't but turn. Okay? So the only time we do this, the only time we divide both sides by cos is if the angles are the same. If the angles are the same, okay? If the angles here in this function and this one were the same, then the step of dividing both sides by the cosine to birth a tan would be correct, would be the correct application. Okay, you are not restricted to use the method I'm going to explain. So which means that step of dividing both sides by cos doesn't work. It's not applicable. Then if you find out it's not applicable, then what next? Because also we can't use the grade 10. Grade 10, we used to do something like this. They give you sine equal to something, you press shift, you get the angle. It can't work. That implies that we need to think further. Grade 11 learners covered the reduction rule in grade 11. So under reduction rule, we borrow skills from reduction rule for grade 11. Okay. So this question is for grade 11 and grade 12, this one here. So when you did reduction rule, you talked about cofunction. This is my side work to save time. I don't write everything. So in grade 11, when you are doing reduction rule, we talked about cofunction. Okay, so angles in the first quadrant. The first quadrant has angles 90 minus theta. And 90 minus theta, if I'm focusing on angles that follow the pattern of 90 minus theta, then sine 90 minus theta gives me positive cos. Cos 90 minus theta gives me positive sine. These are cofunctions. Okay? So 90 minus is the first quadrant. In the first quadrant, all are positive. Sine, cos, tan. So then 90 plus second quadrant. 90 plus is in second quadrant. In the second quadrant, sine gives a positive outcome. Just that with cofunction 90 plus and 90 minus, the trig functions are opposite of whatever the function you had. So sine 90 plus gives you positive cos. Then cos 90 plus. Cos 90 plus, because 90 plus is the second quadrant. In the second quadrant, cos gives a negative answer outcome since the adjacent would be a negative. Okay, so we are going to apply these skills here. any of this skill into this question, since we've seen the other one doesn't work, which means to answer this question, we need to decide that the only way to answer it is to employ this skill. Either I choose to change sine into cos, or I choose to change cos into sine, because the aim is to have the same functions on the left and on the right. So every teacher has their preference function. So my preference function is I always try to see if it's easier. So I follow the easier route to help the learners to finish fast. So here I prefer to change this cosine to become sine. So if I decide that you decide before you write the working, you decide, even if you don't write what I'm writing, you decide in your mind that I want to change cos to become sine. So if I want to change this cosine to become sine, that implies that I'm not affecting the sign that I have on the left. So sine would remain. Okay, so it means sine x minus 15 is going to remain. Then on the left, on the right, I want to make this cosine become sine. So if I put here sine here, then I will ask myself that within these two, remember this side work, this one, I have seen that if I have sine 90 minus, it gives me cosine positive. If I have cos 90 minus, it gives me positive. So since these original questions all had positive, even what I'm aiming to change had the positive coefficient, it's easier and friendlier to focus on 90 minus. So that 90 minus I'm going to focus on within these two. I'm going to use the function that helps me to change this cos 20 plus x to where it came from. Cos 20 plus x came from sine 90 minus something. Okay, so as we see the pattern, if this is 90 minus theta, the outcome here would be theta, meaning there in that question, it's going to be sine 90 minus 20 plus x. Okay, then it will give me, it gave me cos 20 plus x. So where I see cos 20 plus x, I'm going to write, where I see cos 20 plus x, I'm going to write what? 90 minus 20 plus x. Now these special brackets are very important. If you be careless, you don't put the special bracket, you will fail because of algebra inaccuracy. Okay, so from there you continue with the working here. So I have sine x minus 15 giving me sine, this is 90 minus 20 minus x. Then this is sine 90 minus 20 is 70 minus x. Okay, then this side x minus 15. Here I'm just simplifying, nothing special. What is special is this is the first important step. This one is just algebra simplification. Then the next step is also special, is that the reference angle means the first principal angle. Principal means the first angle you get. Reference is the angle of reference, basically the first angle you get. So here we can't punch in the calculator because this is sine, meaning these angles, x minus 15, would be the same as 70 minus x. Because they are binomials, I put special bracket. So whatever is on the left is equal to what is on the right. So now we don't have to make x subject of the formula here because the question has the word general solution. General solution means find all the angles. Find all the angles that if you substitute in here, the left will be equal to the right. So to find all the angles, we use the period. We use the period of those basic graph, the period of a sine graph, where the coefficient of the angle, like here, you see here, coefficient of theta is 1. So the period is 360. Coefficient of cosine is 1. The period is 360. Coefficient of tan of theta on tan graph is 1. Period is 180. So cos and sine are related. They share the same period because all of them have a maximum minimum. The tangent graph, the period of a basic tangent graph where the coefficient of the angle is 1, is 180. Remember, what determines the period of a graph? The coefficient of the angle, because period of a graph is, if it's sine and cosine, would be 360 over coefficient of the angle. If it's tangent graph, period would be 180 over coefficient of the angle. So the period is the number of degrees the graph goes through to go back to the same number. Okay, that's why you see here, when I'm going to find general solution for here, our function that birth these reference angles is a sine, meaning I'm going to use the pattern for sine. The pattern for sine is this. Sine says the angle you get equal to all the first angle plus 360, and 180 minus that. This 180 minus comes from the quadrant where sine is positive. So that implies that x minus 15 is equal to 70 minus x plus 360. Okay. Then you just do algebra there. This comes that side. You have 2x equal to 85 plus 360. Divide those through by 2. So x will give you, I don't want to strain my brain, 42,5 plus 180. Okay. Remember the restriction, k is an integer, positive and negative whole numbers. Then, and the other general solution, this is the first general solution. Then general solution expression 2 is x minus 15 equal to 180 minus that 70 minus x. Okay, plus 360. Okay, so after you just make whatever, you make x subject of the formula. Okay, that one wasn't looking neat. So I do algebra. I have x minus 15 giving me 180 minus 70 plus x plus 360. Okay, you can see that this x comes that side, you will have 0x. This one would go, you have 180. You have 180 minus 70 plus 15, 125. But then the expression is meaningless. Why? Because once the coefficient of x is 0, it's meaningless, which means the only answer we have is this one. This is the only answer that gave us general solution. Now, another learner or someone else can follow the route of changing. You can try in your free time where you change sine into cos. Okay, it will also give you the same answers. You change sine into cos. All right, thank you. Bye.